Hello and welcome to Female Cricket Live. The 25th match of the ICC Women's Cricket World Cup will be played tomorrow, that is 25th of March, between Australia and Bangladesh. But before we start talking about the Australia-Bangladesh contest, let us have a quick look at the two matches that were played today. So match number 23 and match number 24 of the ICC Women's Cricket World Cup were played today. Match number 23, of course, it was played between South Africa and West Indies. The match was reduced to 26 overs aside. However, after South Africa, they batted for 10.5 overs, it started pouring again and the match was finally abandoned. Since the match could not produce any result, both the teams, that is South Africa and West Indies, pocketed 1 point each, and with that, South Africa, having 9 points in the bank, have qualified for the semi-finals to become the second team after Australia to do so. West Indies, on the other hand, have 7 points in their kitty and are placed at the number 3 position in the points table. Then we had match number 24. It was played between England and Pakistan, and the match was won by England comfortably by 9 wickets. Batting first, Pakistan scored 105 in 41.3 overs as they were bowled out by England thanks to Catherine Brunt and Sophie Ecclestone, who picked up 3 wickets each. For Pakistan, it was Sidra Amin who top scored with 32 runs. In reply, England made a light work of the run chase as they completed the formalities in 19 odd overs to win the match by 9 wickets. Danny White, who opened the batting for England, top scored with an unbeaten 76, while for Pakistan, it was Diana Baig who was the lone wicket taker. So after the England-Pakistan match, we can see that England have won 3 out of their 6 matches, while Pakistan have won 1 out of their 6 matches. Now ahead of us, we have another exciting contest that is between Australia and Bangladesh. The match will be played tomorrow, that is 25th of March, at the Basin Reserve in Wellington. The match will start at 3:30 a.m. Indian Standard Time, and you can catch all the live action on Star Sports and Disney Plus Hotstar. Now to talk more about this Australia and Bangladesh contest, I have with me Dhanush Lavanya and Urvi Shah. So Dhanush Lavanya is a content writer at Female Cricket, and Urvi Shah is a mental health facilitator and an avid cricket writer. So I welcome both of you to Female Cricket Live.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. So Dhanush, Australia will take on Bangladesh tomorrow. We know probably that it is going to be a dead rubber, but still we'll be having a close look at that match. Australia, of course, sitting at a comfortable position at the number 1 place in the points table. Bangladesh at the bottom of the table, second last rather. But if we talk about Australia now, their captain Meg Lanning, she has been in some good form in the last 2 matches, scoring 97 against India, then 135 not out against South Africa. So what are your thoughts on Meg Lanning's batting and, of course, the Australian batting in general, how it has been in this World Cup so far?
Absolutely. First of all, I apologize for any disturbance out there from my behind. But yeah, as far as talking about how Australia has performed till now, especially the batting unit, yeah, I'm pretty much happy the way Meg Lanning has been playing. She's like a Picasso making her painting when it when she's batting out there in the middle. So it's just amazing and mesmerizing to see how beautifully she plays her stroke play, the running between the wickets. Every single thing is perfect when it comes to Meg Lanning. In current cricket scenario, if you ask me who is the best player in women's cricket, definitely it's going to be Meg Lanning because she's a complete player altogether. And the way she has played over the last couple of games, especially she scored a 97 against India, 135 in the previous game. She has been in the form of her life, and if Australia get an opportunity to bat first tomorrow, and I hope that there is no rain affecting because the predictions might say there is rain, but I just hope that there is no rain and we have a good match on our hands because yeah, even though it's a dead rubber, I feel like it will be a great opportunity for these two teams to face each other. It would be nice to see Bangladesh punching above their weights against an Australia side. And Australia also, they will be looking this match as a practice game in a way for their semis. And if they finish off at the top of the table, they will be playing their semifinals also in Wellington. And since they have already played 3 games in Wellington, they are pretty familiar with the conditions, and it would add more to their batting as a whole, the team as a whole, in a way, I have to say. So, and also one more thing, Julie, I feel that this is the first time we are seeing Australia and Bangladesh face each other, right, in World Cup or in cricket, in women's cricket only.
In ODIs, right? They've played
Yes,
just
in
one
ODIs.
T20. Yeah.
So yeah, that's also one more big thing. So I just want the match to happen irrespective of the result. And apart from Meg Lanning, I want to see how Alisa Healy performs because she had a couple of good performances against Pakistan and India, but she hasn't been consistent. But I know Alisa Healy, I have followed her as being a consistent player. So I want to see a good batting innings from her side in tomorrow's game. So if Australia goes out to bat first, definitely we can expect something around 300 tomorrow. So Uri, what about you? When it comes to Bangladesh, they are punching above the weights against Australia, is what as I said. Do you see them once again standing up and performing for one last time in this World Cup, like how they have been doing for the whole tournament so far?
I think that can happen only if they go with the mindset that we don't have anything to lose here. It's like a first and the last team playing against each other. None of them have anything to lose, right? So they might just take it as an opportunity where they can get the best out of themselves when it comes to Australia. And if I'm not wrong, they haven't played Australia before, in an ODI format. So it would definitely be a good challenge for them to see how it is to play a side who has been winning throughout the World Cup, and how much they need to work and how much they need to push themselves in the game. So it would be a good learning curve for them tomorrow. So yeah, definitely they are going to go and punch above their weights. They are going to be like, okay, if it's the last time we are there in the World Cup, let's make this one count, and let's uh, show them that okay, we are not a team that needs to be taken lightly. They have told us every now and then, but we have seen the play last time, and then we have seen the comments coming in. They're like, oh, they have gone back to their form of not being themselves. So I think that's something they will try to change, and that should be the only thing that they should be focusing on right now. So yeah, and also they might just give the players a free rope to just go play their own game, be themselves on the team or on the ground. So yeah, Julie, I would just like to know your thoughts. Like when the Sharks, like they are going against Australia and punching about their weight, do you see Australia in any way taking this as just another game and resting few of the players who have been doing quite well for their side and bringing someone else in? Since this is, even if they lose this one, they really don't have anything to lose here because next they play
Yeah.
semifinals.
Uh, Probably, given the fact that how Australia has been playing in this World Cup so far, they have been pretty ruthless. And I don't think they'll be making any changes because they'll have the World Cup in mind. And I don't think they'll make any changes. I think, but there is going to be one forced change because of Elise Perry. I think she has a sore back issue and probably she could miss out. And probably let us see if they play Nicola Carey instead of her, or they go with somebody like a Grace Harris, who has not got a single game in this World Cup. Because I feel that Grace Harris is more like an all-rounder. She's more like an Ash Gardner, if we can say that. She's a right-handed middle-order batter and a right-arm off-spinner, and probably can be a like-to-like replacement for Elise Perry because Nicola Carey is more of a bowler than a batter. So probably Grace Harris could get the game because if we see the squad, Australian squad of 15 members, all the 14 members out of the 15 they have got a game except Grace Harris. So probably Australia can give Harris a chance tomorrow, but let us see. Fingers crossed. We don't know whether Elise Perry is fit or not fit, but I think she has some sore back issues, so she may not take the field. And talking about Bangladesh, I think Bangladesh have not played England, Australia in the ODIs before this, so they'll be playing Australia for the first time. They have never played England as well, so we'll be seeing them playing against England also next. So, and I think Australia and Bangladesh have just one T20I, which they played against each other during the T20 World Cup in the year 2020. And at the time, of course, Australia went on to defeat Bangladesh. So, yes, it is going to be a tough ask in front of Bangladesh. But I hope that they are able to put up some fight and not turn out to be a lopsided affair because we know that Australia is a champion side and they can beat any side in the world. And Bangladesh being just another ordinary side, it will be easy for Australians to beat them. Okay, so as we are talking, we have something from Priyansh Pasi. I want to ask if Elise Perry will play tomorrow and is her condition better, and who will play and who will be decided how? Is it 1 versus 4 and 2 versus 3? So, okay, so correct me if I'm wrong, both of you. I think the semi-final is 1 versus 4, number
Yeah.
one, and then 2 versus
Yes.
3. And I think Priyansh, just moments ago, we were talking about Elise Perry. She has some sore back issues and probably not take the field for Australia tomorrow. And let us see who replaces her, Nicola Carey or Grace Harris. Because I think Annabel Sutherland played the last match, right?
Yes,
Oh,
he played. Yeah, she
Yeah.
finished off the match with
Yes.
who?
So
Yeah, she finished off in the previous match. Yeah, she is there in the playing
yeah.
11.
So probably Nicola Carey or Grace Harris. What do you think, Dhanush?
Yeah, I feel so. Since you said that 14 of the 15 players have already played, and tomorrow's game is more like a filler match for them, and it's more like a practice game, like how I'm saying. So they can go with Grace Harris for sure because just give her a game. You know that Eddie Perry is destined to come back in the semifinals. The main issue that the Australian physio said that is that since semifinals are going to be important game, we want to make sure that Elise Perry won't have any issues going into the semifinals. Because if you see the last two games against India and against who they played against in the previous game,
South
I'm not getting
Africa.
against South Africa. You saw her bowling only 3 overs, and she also didn't bat as well. So it is pretty much evident that the injury is a concern for them. And resting tomorrow's game won't take anything out from Mary Sperry. She's a seasoned player out there, and she will just. It's just a matter of concern, and it's a matter of making sure that she's fully fit for the World Cup for semi-finals, which will be more important to them. And as far as seeing how Australia performed, they are the number one squad. They will end up at number one for sure. And number four is something that we have to discuss now, whether it's going to be India, England, West Indies. Either of these three teams are going to be making it out there. Definitely advantage in the favor of Australia because they have already played 4 games. If you include tomorrow's, if they definitely will play the first semi-final in Wellington. So they have already played 4 matches. If you see their league stage record, so they will be really happy to play in those conditions. They will be the ones who will be the favorites to go to the finals for sure, is what I feel. And talking about Bangladesh here, Julie, this is their first time in the World Cup, and I'm happy that they at least got one victory in this World Cup. If you see this. If you see the points table out there, all the teams got at least one victory. Pakistan also got a win against West Indies, and you don't see like 2017 World Cup. I remember Pakistan finished like 0-7, if I'm not wrong, at the end of the league stage. So you can see that every team had some impact. They had a good day in the field for sure. And seeing how Bangladesh won against Pakistan, they will be happy with the performance definitely. Going after, they will be finishing off the World Cup campaign this after tomorrow's game. What lessons will they take from this World Cup? Do you feel, Julie, from the Bangladesh side will be taking after this amazing performance that they have? Because they are pushed above their weights definitely, and I feel that it's a great learning, and it is great for whole Bangladesh cricket altogether, not just the 11 players who are playing out there.
I think Bangladesh have, I think, couple of more games. So one against Australia and one against England also. So they have 2 games, I think, with them. So I think they'll take some important lessons. Of course, the win against Pakistan, that will be, of course, a sweet memory that they'll carry along with themselves going back to Bangladesh when they travel back from New Zealand to Bangladesh. So that win will be very sweet for them. And second would be that they gave really a tough fight to the West Indian team and they fell shy of just 4 runs. So probably if they could have beaten West Indies, we would have been maybe talking that Bangladesh could also make it to the semi-finals. You never know. But yes, some pluses I think from the Bangladesh perspective will be definitely Fargana Hoke, who is I think just 5 runs away from completing 1,000 ODI runs. So she was very impressive in this World Cup. I think one half century also she had to her name, and at the top of the order, she was giving some solid starts to the Bangladesh team. Nigar Sultana, of course, the captain leading from the front, she was pretty good with the bat, and in the last match she kept wickets as well. I think in the first match also she kept wickets, but then when she was hurt, she just bid adieu to the wicket keeping gloves and she was back on the field. So Nigar Sultana was a big plus for Bangladesh. She captained well. Also, we have to accept the fact that there were already 2, 3 captains with her. Rumana Ahmed was there, Salma Khatun, Jahanara Alam. All these players have been captains of Bangladesh before, and when you have to captain, when you have the former captains around, it is really tough. And I feel Nigar Sultana carried herself beautifully well, leading this Bangladesh team. And of course, Fariha Trisna, the left arm seamer, she was pretty impressive as well. Unfortunate that she missed out in the last match against India, and Bangladesh preferred Lata Mondal over Fariha Trisna, but I feel Fariha Trisna was really good. And of course, Fahima Khatun, the leg spinner, the 3 wickets that she had against West Indies, I think she completely, I think West Indies or Pakistan, I'm not quite sure, but the when she had 3 wickets, she was really nice and probably she could have won the match. for Bangladesh. So I think these are some of the positives that Bangladesh will take back home when they go after this England game. All right, we have something from Chaitanya Rajhans. Australia should just rest three key players in this match and strengthen their bench. Urvi, would you like to answer this? What do you think?
They already have a strong bench. I don't know how much more do you want them to strengthen their bench here. We saw it in the almost like 6 wins that they have on their name. So it's pretty much that they have a strong bench. Maybe, yeah, they can rest a few players. But again, it comes to whether the players want the rest or not. Because if they are playing with the mindset that playing continuously and having that momentum helps them in the next game, then they might not appreciate being rested out. And unless it's a forced change, like Julie mentioned, even I don't feel like resting three players at the same time would be a good choice. Maybe one or two can make way for someone else, and maybe they can just have their game time, and these people can rest before the semi-final. But three would be a bit lot for Australia, considering they are working as a team. Everyone is doing their best individually, so it would be a tough one for them if they happen to lose against Bangladesh tomorrow with such a drastic change.
I don't think so. We can't go so ahead
Yeah.
of our mind. Pakistan or Bangladesh winning against Australia. That is going to be the upset of upsets of all time, if we can say that if happens. So yeah, with the weather conditions out there, definitely there is a concern for sure, because today's match got washed out there in Wellington, and between South Africa and West Indies. So tomorrow also the weather is not looking good, but just we can hope that the match won't be washed out. At least we can see a 20 over game or 25 over game, because at the end of the day I want to see how these two teams face against each other for the first time, and how the two teams will approach. Because if you see Bangladesh is batting this time, they have been very defensive, is what I feel, and I think that tomorrow is a final game for them, and I just want them to go out there and bat freely, and don't have to think about anything. Just go out there, have your time, just try to time the ball well, and just score the maximum amount of runs possible. Yeah, definitely the Australian bowlers are really, really good when it comes to their line and lengths. As we have been talking, Jury has been out there telling this, especially that every single batter of the opponent, like Smriti Mandana or Laura Woolford or anyone, Australian bowlers have a mindset around how they have to get rid of these players, like bowling certain areas, bowling in certain lengths, so that the players try to go out for their big shot and lose their wicket. Is what we have seen them trap a lot of players like that throughout the 6 games that we have seen. So I just hope that Bangladesh players won't think much, just go out there and bat freely, have a good day have a good day, and just enjoy that atmosphere, the opportunity that they have got to play against a premium side in Australia. In Australia, how do you say? Should it be the approach from Australia, Judy?
I think, as you rightly mentioned, Tanush, that probably Bangladesh can simply look to enjoy themselves because they have to accept the fact that they will be playing against Australia for the first time. So probably just enjoy themselves and play fearless brand of cricket, and let us see what is the result. Because if they worry too much about the result, they will again be defensive as they have been in this World Cup, as you mentioned, Dhanush. So let us hope that they put up a good show tomorrow and give their fans back in Bangladesh some fun and entertainment. Uri, what do you think? How should be Bangladesh's approach?
Definitely. I will like cut copy paste what Julie said. Like just play your game, have fun. Because somewhere if we see like practically they are going to play two of the top three sides in World Cup, like England and Australia, like well-known players, very uh, talented, very skilled players. So it is just an opportunity for growth out there for them. So if they take the pressure that okay they are playing against Australia, then like Julie mentioned, they are going to go defensive. But if they just go out there to enjoy, irrespective of what result is going to be like, then maybe we will see a very different Bangladesh coming onto field tomorrow, surprising all of us for a change out there.
Right.
And also to mind you one thing, that with they
Hmm.
are playing in base and reserve, and the conditions, if you see the stadium, there is no floodlights in it. So that is why we have been seeing all the matches in Wellington being scheduled as a day game. So I
Hmm.
don't think so. If rain comes and it takes the major portion of the day, that results in the match getting washed out. That is what happened today as well. So
Hmm.
I just hope that there is no rain effect. If even if so it rains, it maybe an hour or so, a small shower and just passing clouds is what I want. And tomorrow's game is what I feel. And even in semifinals as well, the first semifinal will happen in Wellington in the same stadium. And I feel the reason why that's a day game is because of the lack of floodlights available out there. And that is the reason I feel so. So Wellington is a place that has been very different when it comes to when you compare to other venues that have been used in this World Cup so far. You saw Australia bundle out West Indies and New Zealand for 130, 140, but South Africa were able to step up and they scored 270, and that also was changed pretty much easily day before 2 days ago. So it's a very uneven surface, and I don't have a particular score in my mind. If Australia bats, I just feel that they will just go and smash out there from the very first ball. But if Bangladesh comes out there, I feel also they will also have the same approach. Uh, Urvi, do you have any score prediction from your side in tomorrow's match?
I don't have like a very good score prediction, but if Australia happens to bat first, and if there is no rain, of course, because we are kind of expecting some amount of it, so it would be something around 300ish if they play like full 50 overs, and if it's like a curtailed game, then maybe something around 200, 220 is what I'm expecting. Even with limited overs, Australia can pull off that much. And if Bangladesh happens to bat first, maybe there'll be something around 220 if they are even if they are playing 50 overs, because we cannot undermine the Australian bowlers out there. They are going to go all guns blazing against Bangladesh. So something within 220, and if it's a curtailed one, then again something around 180, 190 is something that I expect Bangladesh to pull off. What about you, Julie?
So if we get a complete game of cricket, maybe of course Australia posting more than 300 runs for sure. And if Bangladesh bat first, I think Australia will bowl them out for around 120, 130. Because what we have seen Australia doing to West Indies and New Zealand, that was tremendous. So I think Bangladesh is just another team. So maybe they can bowl them out 120 or 130. And of course, team to win is going to be Australia. And maybe if it is a rain curtailed affair, again, probably if it is a 20 over side, then probably Australia scoring around 180, 190 runs, and Bangladesh maybe around 80, 90 runs. So, and of course, Australia is going to win, I feel. All right. Before we take this question from Dinesha, Dhanush, your quick predictions.
Yeah, I pretty much said that, right? If it's a full game, Australia going to be bat. If Australia bats first, 300 plus. If
Okay.
Bangladesh bats first, just go out there and play your best game. I don't know whether they will end up at 150 or 200, but they have the capacity to score big runs, capacity to score. But Australian bowlers, we all know how lethal they are in this condition, especially. So that's the thing. And if
Oh,
if rain has an issue, I don't feel 180 is something we have to see. 140 is something that I will expect.
all right. So we have questions from our expert, of course, Dinesha. So Dinesha Devnarayan is asking question for all who is gonna fill the remaining two spots. So Dinesha, I know you are pretty happy that South Africa have qualified, and but the remaining two spots are in question. So Urvi, if you can go first, who will be the other two teams?
Yeah, I had to be the one in spot right now. I honestly want India to be there, and I do see England making it because they're playing Bangladesh next. So there are pretty good chances of England coming in, and
Hmm.
I hope we win against South Africa in the
So
next
that
game,
so that
sealing the third and the fourth spot.
Dinesha has to help us. She has to tell the girls to let maybe India win the match. All right. Dhanush, what do you think? Who will be the other two teams?
Logically, if you see the current scenario, I feel England is a definite for sure because they have Bangladesh left. So they if they play really well against Bangladesh and if they win the way like how they won against Pakistan today, I feel they will seal the number three spot with a better net run rate. And India is the one who are having a big task out there. They have to go out and play South Africa, and it's going to be in Christchurch, so there won't be any issues of rain affecting at all. So I can see it's in the ball is in the court of Team India. How they perform on Sunday is important, and since it's a last match, they will be having a pretty good idea of how to approach their batting, how much runs to score, at what rate they have to score. If they are chasing at what rate they have to chase off the score, so that they can better get a good run rate, net run rate, and they can qualify at number three. So these are the two teams, is what I feel. But if if South Africa manages to defeat India, we are going to be heartbroken because India will be out of the tournament. And West Indies, of all the things that they have done in this World Cup, upsetting New Zealand and England, then having two horrible games against India and Australia, and then Rain playing a spoil sport against Pakistan, and now Rain helping them getting that one solitary point and giving them some hope of going into the semifinals. Definitely, the West Indians will be playing for South Africa to win, but logically, I feel India and England are the ones going in.
I second with you on this. England and India probably are the two teams that will make it to the top four. All right, so great. It was nice talking to you, Dhanush and Urvi, about this match that we are going to see between Australia and Bangladesh tomorrow. That is 25th of March. The match will be played at the Basin Reserve in Wellington, and it will start at 3:30 a.m. Indian Standard Time. So all the fans can catch the live action on Star Sports and Disney Plus Hotstar. We'll be back again tomorrow at 8 p.m. to preview the match between New Zealand and Pakistan. So do join us for our conversation tomorrow at 8 p.m. and send us your questions using hashtag Female Cricket Live. Thank you.